All right. Hello and welcome everyone to the next episode of this stream, I guess. This morning actually, I created an issue on the BC apps repository because I often came across one second. I often had the situation where every one of us probably raises errors all the time, and I often just type it out basically like this, because going the extra mile creating an error info, which is better, but it often really, you need to create a separate function, and then you need to specify all the different properties. And we can go through this process once in a second. And the idea I had, and this is not an idea I had today, I had this already some time ago, but I put it in as a BC idea and also as an issue which I want to implement or fix myself. Where the idea is to create a code unit which wraps the error info and all the different functions, instead of returning their individual value, like properties, I will create functions, and all of those, like each and every of these functions, will return the error info object itself. That makes it possible to chain the function calls, the procedure calls, as much as you want, and in the end you will again return an error info, which you can then put into the error function itself. That way you don't even need an error info variable anymore. Okay, you definitely need that code unit as a variable, but that's it. More you really don't need, and then you can just create error infos and use error infos inline like this. So that's the idea, and that's what I want to get started on today. This has not been approved, so I will not be able to put it in as a pull request just yet. But I figured even if this will end up being declined, I can still put it onto my GitHub and make it available to every one of you. It just won't be in the system app then. All right, so this is the regular error. Let's just get this pushed. And this is how it turns out. Let's also copy the details so we'll be able to compare this afterwards. So this is what the details look like. We have a call stack, and there isn't really much in the call stack because it's just one line of code, and then telemetry information and the error message itself. All right, so this will be, I need to save this to be able to push again. txt, and this is the simple error. Right, I can close this for now. Now, if I would want to do an error info, I can do this. Error info create, and then you can see the create method has a bunch of parameters. So let's first do the most simple way to do it with error info. This also compiles, so this would probably, I would expect this to result in the exact same error message. So let's see. Right, there is a little bit of a difference. Let me just open this up side by side. That way we can compare this. So doesn't align because, okay, no. So I don't think, it doesn't look like the first line is different. So this is all the same. Customers to close, internal stuff. call stack. And then, but then we have custom dimensions. So this is already the first difference. We don't have any custom dimensions, but you can see that this is a placeholder where they would come up. I don't need to save this, I think. Now, but the real thing is you would want to give more information. And now my problem with this create function is, I mean, I can nicely put in all the different information. I cannot create actions. And if you don't know what this is, we will do this and cover this in a minute. But if I would, for example, just want to set add custom dimensions now, I will need to set all the different parameters as well just to get there. So that's why I usually don't like to use this way of creating error infos, because I just need to specify so much stuff. And also a by reference record. So I'm not really sure if, like, this is record table. So I'm not sure if they need to want to have a record variable or what this is about. But yeah, so this is not really usable in my opinion. So what I would then do, working with the current possibilities we have, I would create a local procedure, not called error, but more like raise some custom error, something like this. And if I need like any input, I would put this in parameters or something to just pass it in. And then create my ErrorInfo variable. And start to fill out the different fields which I need. So I don't have, okay, this is requesting, reading the call stack, so it doesn't matter. Collectible, if you want to specify that this is an error that does not need to pop up immediately in the user's face, but it can, like, it is okay if the code continues and then at the very end it will give you like all the different errors that were collectible and were collected. This also needs to be specified as a function, like a procedure scope, like the properties you can set for procedures, that in this scenario you want to collect collectible errors. Control name, and I'm not even sure what this is about. But I wanted to add custom dimensions. Right, and then raise the error. Now instead of doing this, we will just call this function instead. Let's see. All right, let's open it up. So now I think the first, like, this is still the same. We obviously have one more line in the call stack because we're now using a function, but now we also see custom dimensions. And I'm actually a little bit surprised about the... Because instead of having key value, which I specified, we have the key is item 1. This is a dictionary of text. My custom dimension, my custom value. So this is... It's really interesting. Okay, there is something going on here, which I probably need to explain. I would need to check and search for the documentation about this, but as far as I know, and like if anyone has the documentation or knows better than I do, correct me. But as far as I remember, dictionaries as well as lists do always work like by reference. So what happens here is I'm getting, like, I'm using the return value of custom dimensions. I'm not setting the custom dimensions, I'm getting them. And then on that dictionary return value from the custom dimensions function, I'm calling the add function to add a key value pair. And since it's by reference, it will then actually surface and be set in the my variable. So let's try and see what happens if we can make this different by specifying it correctly. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to save this. Or do I? I will just copy it for now. Oh, that was... Oh, I have a clipboard history. Okay, everything's fine. No, but it's the same way, so... Let's add another one. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I have really no clue why this was implemented like this. But it's actually... Well, this is JSON. No, still, I don't know. I don't know why it was implemented that way. But it works. I think it's like key is item 1, value is item 2, and then it's the key and the value that you specified for the custom dimensions, and then the next object. I mean, something you have to know, and then it's fine, I guess. All right, so this is that. You get this in here, and I think you will get this in telemetry, and it could be that it's also useful for the actions. We will see in a minute. All right, so let's continue. We also have stuff like detailed error message, for example. Yeah, I don't want to save this. Right. So this is my custom error message, and then here is my custom detailed error message. And this is nothing the user can see right away. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but that's how it is. And I think that's already everything that surfaces anywhere here. And I think the rest is just for if you're collecting this, those error messages that you can then display certain things. So, for example, the control name. Let's just do a bunch of them right away. Data classification. We can do something like something recognizable, something like this, for example. I think there's also controls how much is logged to telemetry. If you do like this is personal information, then I think it won't surface in telemetry. What's the error type? Internal or client. Identifies a client error. The specified message will be shown in the client to the user and sent to telemetry. Identifies an internal. The message specified will be sent to telemetry and a generic error will be displayed to the user. I don't know why you would ever want that, actually. You can always show an error to the user that helps the user understand what's going on, and then log more detailed information. Either use the detailed message for that, or just do a different log message to telemetry. So Let's see what happens. I don't think I ever saw this generic error message before. An error occurred. If the error persists, please contact your administrator. Collection ID. Correlation ID, sorry. And what do we have here? The detailed error message is still there. This is still there. And just the first, like the original error message was replaced. We still get the custom dimensions and call stack. Interesting. Okay, Marcus just said in the chat, thanks, that the item 1, item 2 kind of style of having that dictionary probably originates from C#. So yeah, that might be a good reason for this. I don't know anything about C#, so thanks. Let's remove this, and I wanted to check if we see any of those values in the error message in the details or somewhere. Okay, so the error message is back. Let's copy. So there is nothing in here. No control name, no anything. So is there? No, specifies the control name that the error relates to. So no information there. I think. Okay, let's see. So let's continue because. Okay, those are the last we were gonna cover because they take the longest. Collectible, I already mentioned this. So there is, like, if you want to have your errors to be collectible, you need to set them as collectible on the error info. And just do like collectible true. And then if that error is called, like raised, within this execution scope of a function that's doing error collectible, error behavior, collect, that way. And 1 second, I need to do different music because that's a little bit annoying, sorry. So whenever the error is raised within the scope of, like, the execution scope, and somewhere up the call stack, a function had this attribute set that it wants to collect anything that is collectible within the execution scope, then it will be collected, and only then. So both of those properties, like both of those, need to be set. Now, error type, we had that, was internal or client. Message. Title. Let's see. I would expect this to change the title of the window. I've never used that before. That's interesting. That's actually nice. Not in the details anymore, but it doesn't really matter. What's the default title though? No title. Okay. It's no title versus a custom title. So that's good. That's actually... Okay. Now there is verbosity. Is it just verbosity? Yeah. Normal. Identifies a non-error event, such as an entry or exit event. Verbose. Detailed trace event. Warning. I want to see if we can show warning. It doesn't change anything. So let's do verbose. I would expect this to also be just something locked to telemetry. Yeah. So it stays error. So there is no difference in the client whatsoever. I need to close the error messages to be able to close the browser tabs quickly. Okay. Now I think the rest of this relates to those calls. So first, let's do the navigation action. What we have is just a caption. So let's do open vendor cart. And the idea is, with the navigation action, you give the user the possibility to immediately navigate to a certain record, to a certain page, where the user will be able to do something about the error. I don't really have prepared an example right now, but yeah, if there is, like, if you're like creating a purchase order or something, and there is an error because there is something misconfigured on the vendor card, you could just offer the possibility to, with one click, take me there, show me what's wrong, then I can do something about it, change the value, whatever. And in order to have this working, you actually need to specify a bunch of things. First of all, the table ID. Let's actually try this. I don't think it will display anything. Oh, it does, but it doesn't do anything. That was the issue. Now, if I start to specify the table, still doesn't do anything. Let's do page number. It will open the vendor card on the first vendor in the system. Now let's do like 4,000. And for this we can do table ID, record ID, system ID. So let's try them all. And if you're wondering, I used ErrorInfo before, but like when you're working on customer projects, you're just like, you have barely enough time to get the job done and not really the time to just play around with all of this. So I'm taking you with me on my learning journey to actually get to know what everything of this tool does, to be able to use it better in my daily work life. So let's try like this. Yeah, this doesn't work. Database. And let's do system ID. Vendor.system ID. Right. That works. So if you have the system ID and the table ID, you can do it like this, or I would say you can use the record ID instead. Because that should contain exactly that information. Well, it works with the table ID and the primary keys, but you get the same result. Now, let's leave it like this for now. Let's do field number. Specifies the field ID that the error relates to. All right. Let's do something like Address to. I hope that's on the page. Yeah, let's disable those teaching tips because they keep interfering. Yeah. So let's do actually a field down here. Like base calendar code. And I want to make sure that this is collapsed and closed. Right. Yeah, works great. One more try. Okay, if it is expanded, which is a little bit annoying actually, and you specify the field number, it will take you there directly. So you have this in focus already. It could, like, it would be nice if they would highlight it and if they would expand the area where the field is in. Let's give it another shot just to be sure. Yeah, I feel like they're scrolling down, but they're not actually expanding that section. So yeah. But the idea is that you can specify what field the error happened, like what field the user needs to put attention to, and bring them there right away. Okay, I think there is not much left. We had those, all of them: title, table ID, system ID, page number. Okay, then it's just add action. Now, add action is something else. It lets you define an action and then also a codeunit ID, and we need to create one for this. Yep, that's fine for now. And we will do one procedure called something like handle fix error. And we need to have a parameter called of type ErrorInfo. The name is, I don't think the name is important, but the type, like the signature, is important. And that's it. Now we can do codeunit, my codeunit, and fix error. And I don't recall to have more parameters. Oh, we have. What is the description? There's no documentation about this. Oh yeah, it is. The text that appears as a tooltip. Nice. I feel like this is new. Action. Description. Do we have more? No, that's it. All right. So this is, and here you can do whatever you want. I'll just do this. And the idea is use the navigation action if you cannot fix whatever needs to be fixed by the error right away, or if you want to give the user the possibility to react themselves. If there is something like, well, any kind of error where you really say, well, you cannot put this into the field, or for example, if you want to change values on the sales invoice, but the sales invoice already released, then you get the error that it can't be released, and then you could offer an action to reopen the document right away, and they can click it and they're good. So this is the idea, to really get rid of the error, like whatever needs to be done to get the error fixed, the error situation, you can just add this as an action and it will execute your code. And what you can do is now you can get, you can like custom dimensions, get, let's see, what key did we have? My custom dimension 2. Of course. Oh, this is the, okay, that's the problem. Like this. And then you can retrieve whatever custom dimensions you've set. And that's, I think, part of the reason why we need to have the ErrorInfo variable as part of the parameter list. Okay, now that really is, I think it's everything you can do with the ErrorInfo type. And it's really powerful, like it really improves the error experience for users quite a bit if you use it whenever you can. And if you really offer those actions. Oh, I didn't pay attention to the description. Yeah, so this also works. We don't have a tooltip here, we have one here. All right. But again, at least in my experience for my daily work, it's hard to always like do all of this. Like it's crazy how much code you need to really leverage all of this, and you always need to create a function, and it's like somewhat tedious to write all of this code. And I mean, it's my experience, my feeling about this, and I want to do something about this. All right, so my idea was to create a code unit, call it ErrorInfo wrapper for now, maybe nothing too fancy, and we for sure will need an ErrorInfo variable as a global variable. And now it doesn't seem like we need to create. What does the... Oh, there is no create on the variable. All right. So that seems to be only present on that global type. But I think I still want to have a create procedure without any parameters. Without any parameters, but it would be nice to have an overload. And this will just do custom ErrorInfo. It will reset the ErrorInfo global variable. That way you can reinitialize the state of the code unit. Now let's do the same with a message like this. That way the message parameter is optional, but you can, if you just want to do that one part, just a simple message without anything else, you can still do that. Although it wouldn't make really much sense to use the code unit for that if you don't want to do more. All right. So let's continue with the detailed message. And that would be detailed. We can also do just message. Just like that. ErrorInfo wrapper. Yeah, I need to disable that because that's exactly what we're doing. Okay. So this would be the first step, and I'm not sure if this is like, I think this is better for me. Then we have the wrapper, we have .create, we have .detail message. Now let's continue. In this example, we created the custom dimensions first. Yeah, well, doesn't really matter in which order we implement this stuff. So custom add custom dimension, and that's probably how it makes the most sense. That works great. Okay. I also feel like custom dimensions really misuse, like dimensions is something really specific in the Business Central scope, so reusing the word in here like this could be confusing. Okay, so then we can do like this, add some dimensions. Wait. Text does not contain a definition. Oh, that's right. We do not need to return error info. We need to return this. And this is where it gets really interesting. So we can now do this. We can now do this because I have on purpose created a container with version 25. Let's get rid of this. Does it work now? This does work. And then we either will need to have a procedure like raise, which will not have a return value, or something like get error info, which will just exit this. So now then we can do dot get error info. And then it compiles. So now anyone who did not play around and maybe follow Microsoft on Twitter with version 25, runtime 14, which I was not able to specify explicitly here, we will be able, or we will get this keyword, which works on all object types and also on code units, and works essentially like current page to reference the current instance of the object. And that way I can always return the same instance of that code unit without the need, like we previously needed to do, to create the code unit globally and then mess with this. So this is how this works. So that way we can just chain this stuff together as long as we want, and then we can either do the get error info to put it into the error call, or we can do just .raise and then it will do the error calling itself. Oh yeah, and since this is a global variable and I can also reference global variables with this keyword, I should do that. Okay, let's continue. We have the custom dimensions, detailed error message, control name. Yeah. Problem is I cannot have the parameter being the same as the function name. I need to change that a little bit. Control name, data classification. I'm curious if we will find some roadblocks along the way. Data classification. Oh, the title. Now we'll put the title up here because I like it more. Procedure. Title. Yeah. I don't know. If you have any better idea on how to solve situations like this where you need to have a certain suffix or prefix or whatever for procedures, let me know in the chat. I'd really be interested to hear your solutions to this problem, because I don't really found a way for me for now which is satisfying enough to use it consistently. Title. Now that's the title. Now let's do navigation action, because now it gets a little more interesting. Procedure. Because in order to use a navigation action, you need to use either, like always, the page number. So without page number, it won't work. So we can do add caption, action caption. We will do the page number. We also do like this. So that should work already. Now let's do an overload for the same function. procedure add navigation action with the action caption, page number. We could do something like improve how it works with a like get filter, set filter stuff, but not for now. So now it's either record ID or I'm just thinking. Let's do record ID. Good. I was thinking. Oh yeah, this is okay. This is record ID, not good. I was thinking if I also want to have one with only the action caption and have all the different, like all of those as separate calls as well, just to offer the same, like the maximum amount of flexibility. Because the field number would need to be included here as well. And here. So we will end up with multiple overloads. Page number, table ID, and system ID. So this would be without the field number. Maybe I'll leave it like this, but still put all the different ones as separate calls. So page number, was it page number? Page number, record ID, field number, system ID, table ID. I didn't start the screencast mode. Sorry. It doesn't work. Control D selects the next occurrence of whatever you've selected. And I wanted to, because I cannot rename because it's like, oh, it is the parameter, so I probably can do it like this. I was afraid that it clashes with the function name. So page number, record ID, and now Copilot also inherited my param pattern. Field number, table ID, and system ID. Okay, and I think the last one is direction, which has 2 overloads. So we will do both. Okay, let's see. Well, in this case, I will need to have the vendor read in advance. Otherwise, I won't be able to access it. All right. That's the vendor card I want to open, and I want to have, yep, just the record ID. So this is my navigation action, and then add action. And that's it. I hope I didn't miss anything. Let's see what happens. Works just as good. And I did not really expect there to be any, I mean, it's just putting, like, just wrapping it, putting it into a different function, in a different code unit. That's what I wanted to say. It's gonna rename those. Okay. Now, what do you think? Is this easier than this? I think it's also, like, I feel like it's more readable, especially because we have, like, the syntax highlighting, making the function calls, like the function names blue, versus having them, I mean, I could do function calls in here as well, I guess. It's just that weird assignment versus function call syntax thing. So that would be the same way, but I would still always need to do my error in front. And here I can just chain it underneath. So I like this more, to be honest with you. And I would even consider to like this more. Oh, I just saw something. Waldo, I'm not sure if you're still watching. Oh, it was 28 seconds ago. I don't know how you commented, but I did not see that comment in the chat, so probably did something wrong. But anyways, I saw the comment and he's absolutely right. We want to chain the overloads. So let's see. From down up, I think. The problem is we have slightly different parameters at the end, but the beginning is always the same. So we can reuse the first function in the other ones. Let's see. It's really now my brain starts to hurt. Returning this, which is the ErrorInfo wrapper. And then we probably want to do get ErrorInfo and then do this. Wait, no. Oh, we don't need to do shenanigans like this, because this will just work on the global variable as well, and then we will We don't even need to reuse the return value. Then we can just append this and then exit the whole thing. I hope I did not misconcept anything, but it should work like this. And then here the same thing. Oh no, here I don't think it does apply here because it's just another, like it's reusing, like calling the other overload on the ErrorInfo object directly. So okay. So that way we should be good on this part. Now, if this wants to, if we want to have this pushed into the system app, we need to, I think we need to follow this, how is it called? Facade pattern, where we call this implementation. And make it access internal. And I think especially because this, we want to also do, I think, inherent entitlements and inherent permissions, because this shouldn't be something any user needs to have explicit permissions for. So that way we make sure that everyone can use this and call functions on this. And I think that's that. Now let's copy this whole object and do the real one with documentation. So this would be then the ErrorInfo wrapper. Now instead of, I need to be careful to not do anything wrong. I think instead of having the ErrorInfo global object, we want to have the ErrorInfo implementation globally. And just do this for each and every of those functions. Right. Let's hope that Copilot will help. In case if you are not using Copilot already, this is a pretty good example in how helpful it can be for just repetitive and tasks like this, where you just have some code that essentially repeats itself but doesn't, it's not the same at any time. So inherent permissions stay, access needs to go away. Okay, the return value will not be usable outside of this module without an implicit conversion. Is this an issue? Let's see. I mean, it still does work here. So there you go. Need to create a different extension to test this. ErrorInfo implementation or facade test. Add folder to workspace. Wrapper. There we go. All right. So let's see. Where is my container? Now this is my wrapper. So this is what has to go into the dependencies of this app. Okay, and download symbols. I should probably republish this extension. And okay. I think that way should work. Or we should be able to test it this way. Not sure if it will work yet. Okay. So we cannot see the implementation anymore. And if I go here, well, I can see it, but I cannot reference it anymore. So let's check what happens if I do this. It's inaccessible due to its protection level. All right. But the error still works. Just to be 100% sure. We're seeing the right error message. We are not. All right. Why though? The title is just not working. Okay. So that's a different issue. Huh. Maybe we need to set the title here. Maybe that makes a difference. It doesn't make a difference. That's stupid. Oh, of course. No, it's not stupid. It's by design. The create resets the scope of the wrapper. That's the thing. If I do I do this and then do, I did not, right. Good one. I did not create one for the message, for the regular message. Procedure, message. Okay, so this way I should be able to do title message, detail message. Although I don't even think, I probably can leave the create away, like remove the create. Don't even need it, possibly. Yep, works. All right. My custom error message. Okay. All right. Now the problem is the problem is with this now that if you do it like this, use the raise function, like in telemetry, you will always see that the error originated from the system app if it gets merged. So it's probably smarter to do it like this. And I'm not even sure if I, for that reason, will include the raise procedure. Okay. Now I like all my apps have default publisher, but you can see that there is one line less in the call stack because it goes through open page and then raise some customer with codeunit, which is this function. It goes through the wrapper codeunit, but then exits again before the error is raised. So that's why we don't see it in the call stack anymore. So that's probably the better solution to this. So let's remove the raise. It doesn't really matter, or it doesn't make much sense, I think. Okay. Oh, that's gone. I think we can ignore this warning because it's really not needed. Like, you do not need to have access to this implementation code unit. I was just thinking if we can use this code unit as a return value here, but then we would need to have some kind of conversion in place. Cannot do it like exit like this anymore so easily. And I think it's working, so why even bother? All right, now let's do documentation. Yes, I did not do collectible, now that I think about it. That's I did not read that before. I didn't know that this creates a new ErrorInfo object with collectible set to true. Interesting. So if you do not use the create function, you will have collectible set to false by default. But if you do create, it will set the collectible to true. So that's an important information. Now let's first do the add the collectible procedure in here as well. Collect. Yeah. This dot. Okay, and then the wrapper procedure. Yeah, I feel like this is a better name, actually. Cannot implicitly convert. Yeah. Okay. Now. Also important, because we added a little bit of functionality here. Also initializes a new instance of the ErrorInfo variable. Now, usually we would want to have a return parameter for this. It's like an explanation for the return value, what it returns. I'm not sure if this is important because it doesn't really return anything but itself, and that's always the same. So I would skip that for now. Otherwise, it would always be the same, anyways. So creates new collectible set to true. Also initiates summary. 1 second. Copilot doesn't know we need to have the parameters. Let's see. What does the specifies the message? Let's just grab whatever Microsoft specified here. And let's read it. Maybe there are more surprises. Specifies the message that will be sent to telemetry for client error type. The message will also appear in the client. That makes sense. So that also needs to be like this. Did it rename in the documentation? That's crazy. All right. Title. Okay. Specifies the title. The title will be shown at the top of the error message window. not that there won't be any title. While we're at it, we can improve the documentation a little bit, right? So this is this, and then let's see how good Copilot really is. Yep, and let's do it like this. I'm not really sure because, I mean, most of the time, all those functions really just serve one purpose, and that reflects the parameter that's used. So it's really hard to have the summary and the parameter description at once, because it's really just the same. Now let's do detailed message. Detailed message. And I think I can I just, oh, I'm okay. Could be that it doesn't link correctly if this is not set correctly. So, and I don't like to have that param thing in here. So I will need to rethink this maybe, but let's just finish the documentation first. So let's go here and grab the documentation from, this is useless. All right. The detailed message will not be shown to the client. It will just be part of the, what's that called? The additional details? Share details. About part of the details. Copied. With share details. Okay, I think that should be clear. Now add custom dimensions. Let's see what Microsoft has to say about this. Okay, let's reuse this. This is actually, okay, this is not, add custom dimension to the error. Custom dimensions will be sent to telemetry and part of the show details. Let's collapse this. Okay. They are also useful in combination with add action. Yep. Can we get like Copilot to? No. Okay. The key of the dimension to add. Value. Okay, and I think it also would be helpful to clarify that you can call it over and over again. Call this function as often as needed to add multiple custom dimensions. Perfect. This is how I wanted to have this. All right. Control name. Did we use this in our example? We did, but it did not do anything. So if any of you knows what this is used for in particular, let me know. Otherwise, I would suppose that this is just for, assume that this is just for telemetry, but not, it specifies the name of the control that relates to the error. Name of the control. Data classification. Well, I could check. Okay, that is exactly what I... Okay. Interesting. Now let's do data classification as well. This affects how the error message will be shown in telemetry. Something like this. Then get error info. I will actually move this to the very bottom, because I think this is like the last thing you want to call. Right. Add navigation action. All right. Yeah. Like, if it would hurt to write a little bit more about what this does. A navigation action can help the user to navigate to a specific page in order to fix the error. Caption of the action button on the error message. Page number that will be opened by the action. Okay. Now this is just a bunch of overloads. It should really be the same. Record ID of the record that should be opened by the page. By the page. And I know this is a little tedious, but without those documentations, it's really hard to uptake this new feature if you want. So I really want to give detailed and good documentation on those procedures. So it's better than whatever like the Microsoft wants, because I mean, specifies the table ID that the error relates to. Yeah, well, it's great. It's It says what it does, but it does not explain why you should set the table ID. What do you need? Where? Yeah, like for what do you need the table ID specified? So let's be better than that. Okay. Table number of the record that should be opened. And system ID of the record that should be opened by the page. I think that should make it clear that you can either use the record ID or you can use the table ID system ID combination. No. This will be used by the navigation action to open the correct page. Yep. And this. Record ID. Just to add a little bit more of information. Oh yeah, field number. Where was that? Oh, the field number is separate. This will be used by the navigation action to open the correct. To point the user to the correct field on the target page. Field number that will be focused by the action. That's right. Specifies the table number that the error relates to. This will be used by the navigation action to open the correct record. Table number of the record that should be opened by the page. The system ID that the error relates to. Again. Okay, adds an error to the action. The action can help the user to fix the error. Let's see what Microsoft has put in here. Oh man. The action can help to fix the error for the user. Caption of the action button. ID of the code unit that contains the method that should be executed by the action. Well, it's like with documentation, it's so much easier with Copilot. Name of the method that should be executed by the action. Perfect. Same stuff. Tool tip text that will be shown when the user hovers over the action button. Perfect. Collectible. Let's see what Microsoft has for collectible. It's actually a little better than what Copilot came up with. Okay. Returns. Perfect. That's exactly how I wanted to have this. Now, it's probably best to have something of an online documentation with an example. I thought about putting an example into the object documentation in the top here, but I'm not sure if this is like good practice. Something like this. What do you think? Would this be helpful to have this in, like, I mean, any kind of objects, but especially in Microsoft Code to do something like this? Just so you have an idea of how to use this. We'll leave it for now, I think. I mean, you go to definition, you open this, and then you see, oh, that's how you use it. Okay, copy, paste, and continue. So, might be a good idea. Now let's see. Let's type this again, and let's see how it works, how it feels. So I can do like title and specifies the title of the error. Wait a second. Oh, wait. I need to push this and download symbols again, I think, because this is a different extension. Right. Sign in. Okay. Okay. Oh, what I was missing was the this explanation, but it's part of the parameter documentation, so that's why I didn't see it. Now we're back to the error message documentation, but I can do message and then oh, that's bad. Okay, what happened? This is my variable. This is the one with the documentation. Now that means that the title function is called from this code unit, but this code unit returns the implementation code unit, which means that the next method is actually called from the implementation code unit right away. So it doesn't work like this. Okay, let's think about a solution. All right. So this I remove this. I need to do it like this. Now, how do I get this code unit from here? Is this even an issue? I don't think it is. I will call this, I won't use the return value, but I will still do, like this line gets executed, I'm just ignoring this part. Because going back to this example, let's go back a few steps. I can do it like this, or I can do this. Well, I will need semicolons at the end. And then do like this. This is the same result. This is the same thing. I'm just not using the return values. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think it should be good by just, this is our global, we're calling all the functions on there. This should do. This should do the trick. Okay. Screencast mode did disable again. Don't know why. Okay. Let's see if there will be any more roadblocks. Oh. Almost done. And this can stay like this. Okay, go back here. Let's see. Specifies the message of the error. Specifies the message client type message will also be in the client. Okay, I think it works. Add custom dimension to the error. Custom dimensions will be sent to telemetry, shown, add action, provide the details, the key of the dimension to add. No, that works. Okay. Now, next question. Do we need tests for this? I mean, it's just assigning a bunch of values. You could do tests, passing in stuff, and then getting the error info and checking if the right stuff was set. But it would just essentially be duplicating whatever code is in here. So I would wait with tests for Microsoft to tell me I need to write those tests. Because I really think, I mean, where's the point in testing stuff like this if it's really just essentially the same code once again in a test app, verifying that you cannot change any lines in here anymore. Let me know what you think, if you would like to see tests for this, or if you agree with me that this is a little bit stupid. Pointless is a better word. So yeah, let's check if this got any progress. So we have someone from the community approving our idea, or my idea. And I saw a few comments that others had the same idea before, so let's call it our idea. But no Microsoft approval yet, so I cannot get started on the pull request, but maybe somebody from Microsoft's watching. Yeah. Once I get this approved, I will put in the pull request because the code is done. And if that won't get approved in the near future, like within next week, I will probably put it onto my GitHub. So you guys can have it if you want to reuse this in your own code. But I think this should suffice, like be enough for the like satisfy all the requirements for the pull request already. Let's check one more time if I did add. Oh, okay. The call stack, you cannot set the call stack, you can just get the call stack. So I don't think it needs to be wrapped with this. You can always just do get ErrorInfo and then get call stack. ErrorType is missing, and verbosity. See? Always double check what you're doing. Procedure, error type. Verbosity. Okay, what is the error type about? Oh. This can determine whether the error should be sent to telemetry, which is based on the trace level setting of the server. Okay, would be nice to have the default, like something like in cloud, it means that. Okay, so this is... Oh, it's just verbosity. Now it works. Okay. I'll remove this part. Oh, you know what? Let's keep it. I'll remove this back in here. Move folder from workspace. Can I close the workspace? Close workspace. There we go. Okay. Oh no, I don't want to save it. Okay. Don't save. Add. Save. This one. Okay, and now it's everything in one again. Publish to GitHub as a public repository, and we do not want to have the packages, snapshots, VS Code. It's just this and this also. Okay, the objects. Okay. Oh, yeah. I do not have the like globally defined username and password. So I always need to do this, and now I can commit this, but now I cannot upload this, I think, because it's, yep, it's already there. So we need to fix that first. Repositories, ErrorInfo wrapper, and we need to do this. And I will put the link to the repo into the description right after I finish. I will put this on as a comment on Twitter and also on YouTube, so you'll have it and you can check it out if you want to. But as I said, as soon as we will have the approval from Microsoft to put this into the system app, I will do so. The idea is not that you will need to copy this over and over again into all of your repositories, like in all of your projects. It should be something in Microsoft's code. But if you can't wait so long, if you want to give it a shot, it's on GitHub now. All right, I think that's it for today. I just wanted to look into this stuff, and I got pretty, like, I didn't expect to get that far. I'm pretty happy with the result now. So let's hope this gets approved. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.